You have tuned into the BearDown Corner with your host, Sergeant Julio. Hey everybody, this is the BearDown Corner. I'm Sergeant Julio. Let's get you caught up with the NFL this week. All right, so Crosby trade was nixed. We're going to start right off with that story. The Baltimore Ravens had the defensive end from the Raiders do a physical. He did not pass. Because of that, they nixed the trade, coming out boo-hoo crying about, oh, we really, really wanted Max Crosby. No, you didn't. You were willing to give up 2 first-round picks when everyone else wanted to do 1 in a second, and then you finally got him in the building. You had regrets. So what better than a failed physical on a guy who's still recovering from injury last year, right? So anyway, he's back with the Raiders. Cowboys, amongst some other teams, are still looking, but this has completely reshifted the landscape. The Raiders are the losers of this whole concept because they're now out of draft picks. They got Max Crosby's contract back on the books after they already spent that money. It's not looking good. They traded Geno Smith recently, but they're still going to eat dead cap for his contract. And in replacing that lost trade, the Ravens go and sign Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year, $112 million contract. The world of the football business, beyond my recollection, man. They treat these guys like they're literally pawns in a video game. We're going to trade you here. Nope. Anyway, yeah. Speaking of, we already talked about Geno Smith going back to the Jets. He has kind of had a full come circle moment. He was drafted by the Jets in the 2nd round way back when. He is 35 now. Veteran, has had some playing seasons as a starter, and the Jets are looking for more competency at quarterback after Justin Fields failed to provide that last year. He is now been traded to the Kansas City Chiefs, by the way, Justin Fields. Daniel Jones has signed his contract with the Indianapolis Colts, a 2-year, $88 million contract worth $100 million in incentives up towards. This basically meets the $50 million plus he was asking from his side. They wanted to pay him Sam Darnold money. They met in the middle at 44. So that doesn't really surprise me. It's good to see Daniel Jones back in the Colts. They had to lock up that quarterback. Otherwise, they would have taken a giant regression step and probably fired everyone next year. Former Bears safety Kevin Baird, which honestly I'm kind of sad and not sad about because I had a really good press conference I watched the other day of the Bears, and they talked about you've lost your entire secondary other than Jalen Johnson, and yeah, you know what? That's fine. Our linebackers, that's fine. We're signing guys and drafting guys for a Dennis Allen defense. So letting all these other guys go, it really wasn't ever. Ryan Poles is just cooking because he's going to go based off the schematic of his coach. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Tell me otherwise, please. You could have the greatest player in the world, but if he only knows how to play one style position and not accustomed to the schematic of the defensive coordinator, then what the hell is the purpose? It's the schemes that make up the plays that allow these players to do their absolute best. So anyway, he goes to the Patriots, 1-year, $9 million contract. Vikings running back Aaron Jones, he restructures his contract to return to the Vikings as he had signed a 2-year, I think it was like a 20-some mil contract last year, 10 mil average. He's coming back at a cheaper to stay with the Vikings. Probably doesn't want to move. The Bills reinforce their defensive side of the ball with Bradley Chubb coming over on a 3-year, $43.5 million contract. That will definitely help bolster this Bills unit that was good enough to hold teams at necessary points within a game, but they gave up a lot of bad plays, I thought, last year, in my opinion, for the Bills games I watched. Biased opinion, that's mine. I didn't see all their games, but the ones I seen, they looked like they were giving up way too much. Packers sign Javon Hargrave, 33-year-old defensive tackle from the Vikings who played last season. He comes over on a 2-year, $23 million contract. The Vikings have lost both their interior defensive tackles from last year. Jonathan Allen went to the Bengals on a 2-year, like 23 or $26 million contract. Basically the same as Hargrave. He's 31, though. Former Commanders first-round pick. You know what? Good for Cincinnati. They needed the defensive help. Good for Green Bay, I guess. They needed to replace guys that they traded away last year, right? And Kenny Clark. So reinforcing weak spots these teams are doing. 2 news notes from the Tennessee Titans. They released safety L'Jarius Sneed as he is just not in their plans moving forward, but bring back Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver, on a restructured contract to make his cap hit a little bit less. Cowboys continue the trade market as they get rid of defensive depth. They trade away Osa. Bear with me here as I pronounce this. Odighizuwa, I hope I pronounced that right. The defensive tackle got a 4-year, $80 million contract extension last year, but with the additions of Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, and the recently signed, I don't know his damn name, but there's 3 of them on the roster anyway, they had the affordability to get rid of a cap hit against them and get something in return. They trade him to the 49ers, I believe, for a mid-round pick. Kyler Murray signed a 1-year deal to go to his home team of the Vikings childhood dream team. He goes there on a 1-year deal as the Cardinals are paying the rest of his contract after releasing him. Honestly, this is good. Number 9 gets some competition. Kyler Murray gets to try and recoup his career, and he gets to do it with the team that he loved the most as a kid. So when you put together Kyler Murray's talents, a little bit better offensive line to maybe protect him, right? Justin Jefferson, who's going to catch absolutely every goddamn thing he throws towards him. I think this could be a really good marriage. Even though it's in my division, the Vikings did the smart thing by bringing in Kyler Murray. That's all I'm going to say on that. The Bengals extend left tackle Orlando Brown Jr. to a 4-year, $64 million contract extension to keep protecting Joe Burrow, as Burrow will once again most likely be the top 5 most sacked quarterback in the league this season. Rachaad White, former running back Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is going off to Washington on a 1-year deal. He replaces a bunch of running backs who didn't get re-signed this offseason. He fills out with a rookie from last year, 7th-round pick, Krosky McCarrick. They're the running back duo for Washington this upcoming season. He leaves Tampa Bay after they sign Kenneth Gainwell to replace his roster spot, as they also have Sean Tucker and Bucky Irving. The 49ers reunite with Dre Greenlaw. Especially, this comes as good news for what was an all-pro linebacker with Fred Warner when they played together. Hopefully he can return to form, because they're going to need it after the 27-year-old defensive end Bryce Huff decided to announce his retirement this week. A lot of young retirements happening. But that just goes to show the world of football is more physical than people want to admit. Anyway, he retires at 27. Greenlaw's back with the 49ers. Let's see what this defense can do, baby. Dallas Goedert signs a 1-year return deal to go back to the Eagles and hopefully keep that offense afloat. You know what? I'm waiting to see where A.J. Brown goes, man. He should be traded this offseason from all the reports and everything else coming out. If he isn't, whatever, the Eagles will take him back, and it'll be another diva year for him. And and we already talked about Justin Fields going to the Jets. Well, you know what? That does it for that news. Let me bring you up to date on a different situation. The information I gathered from the articles I've read on James Pierce, the defensive end from the Atlanta Falcons. He has been charged on 3 counts of, 1 battery, attempted murder and fleeing the cops, I think, is the 3. He could be in jail for a while. The 22-year-old had a nice breakout rookie season, doesn't know how to keep out of trouble. And this was an issue for him coming out in the draft last year that a lot of teams didn't. He was supposed to be a top 10 pick. All the talent in the world. And then he throws it away because he's an idiot. Part of the reports had this guy stalking this girl, offering her money. This WNBA player that he was seeing, I don't even think he was really seeing her. He was just trying to get in with her. He offered her $75 to stick around and be with him one night and another $200 to keep dating him. Amongst many other things. The guy's a creep. Just lock him up, throw the key away, give the fucking Falcons a reimbursement 3rd-round pick or a 4th-round pick for the loss, and let's move on. Because there's not enough time in the day to put up with this childish shit no more. You're being paid millions of dollars to play the fucking game of football. Smarten up. But anyway, that's going to do it for us here today at the BearDown Corner. I am Sergeant Julio. You can catch us live every Tuesday morning at 6 o'clock a.m. General Mountain Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, anywhere you can listen to your podcast, and of course, YouTube. Be safe, take care, and we will see you next week here on the BearDown Corner.